Wow, how about that? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web here on a Monday night as technology does not want to cooperate tonight. Once again, I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for web heads out there, Tampa Bay sports fans out there, fans of the Sports Web, it is your time, especially Go Bucs fans. And tonight, it is Raise Up Fans Night, as we'll have the great L. Bushman on here about 9:30. We were expecting Harry the Greek, but he's not sick. That's a great thing. His wife is not sick. That's another great thing. He's not hungover. That's not what it is at all. In fact, it was actually the internet playing games. Tom Brady doesn't like that.
That's good enough to suck right there.
So it's just me and you. right? We're going to sit here and talk Tampa Bay Buccaneer football. We're going to sit here and talk about the Tampa Bay Rays. But how do we start off this show on a Monday night? As you see me dressed in a shirt, I'll explain that in just a moment. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Once again, I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. So I wanted to wear this shirt because I usually wear the Sure Shot Travis Meserole shirts there. We always have the Sports Web logo. We like the brand. But I had to wear this because Sheila Cuso, who is a big-time web head, who has always followed this show, big-time fan there at Smart Financial, got this for me. It says, "Talk Sports to Me." And she got it for me on Valentine's Day, which is nice because I'm not used to getting anything on Valentine's Day ever besides a headache. So I had to wear it tonight. So salute to you. Also, to get something out of the way, happy birthday to my football buddy, my Aunt Tammy Freed. I don't know how old you are. I'm not going to ask how old you are, but hopefully you had a happy birthday as you've been supportive of my journey into this show here that we call the Sports Web on Monday and Wednesday nights here at 9 o'clock live here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn Live. Yes, I'll try to be professional. Of course, on Instagram Live. So lots of things to talk about tonight. Not only is this show brought to you by Tampa Joe's, 9316 Anderson Road in Tampa. I know football season's over, but it's never over here on the Sports Web. And who knows, maybe we'll bring a draft party. Would you like that, Webheads? Would you like me to bring a draft party to Tampa Joe's? You got to get down there. Tell them you want the Sports Web back. Mention my name here. Mention the Rolex Reporter. I believe you still get a discount, but mention that you want an NFL draft party at Tampa Joe's, 9316 Anderson Road. Great food, great atmosphere, and of course, home of the evolution of sports talk television when it comes to away watch parties for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers and, of course, your USF Bulls. And then on top of that, you like the haircuts. I mean, it looks good, doesn't it? It doesn't look good to be professional. You know, I had to, what do they say? Style and profile, right, Ric Flair? Yes, it's Up the Block Barbershop. You don't have to go far. It's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Whether you want a haircut, a beard trim, a fade, they got you covered. Go see my favorite barber, Ricky, and all the talented and great barbers there at Up the Block Barbershop. And the rumors are true. We are getting out there. Why? People ask me, how can you do the evolution of sports talk television in a barbershop? And I say, because I can. And if I have the internet, and hopefully the internet is working, big shout out to AT&T there with their internet. Hopefully it's working. We'll be out there in a couple weeks doing the evolution of sports talk television. Who knows? Talking to barbers, maybe getting a haircut. Who does that, right? I mean, we give you all this opportunity. We get out there in bars, we get out there in barbershops, we get out there in stadiums. If there's internet, the evolution of sports talk television will be there. So let's go back to this. And then I want to mention this right here. And this is my new baby right here. This is the new network, Fan Arch Network, a new show called Bucs Latest. Go to that. That is blowing up. I'm into episode 7, and we've got 1,000 views. Only got, I think, 93 subscribers right now. So I need every one of you, all 8,100 followers out there, to like and subscribe to the new show there, Bucs Latest, on the Fan Arch Network. And you get Bucs content every day. Like, people say, I don't get the Sports Web enough. I want the Sports Web. Guess what? I did this for you. I give you 10 to 15 minutes of Bucs content every day, Monday through Friday. And you still get the evolution of sports talk television. And Facebook stars are open. And YouTube super chats are open. So if you like the content, give to the content. Thank you very much, Realtor David Zuzman right there. I subscribed already. That's awesome. Bucs Latest. That's what it's all about right now. And you know me, where I started, right? I started on a 1,000-watt radio station. Even far back, if you're fans of the show, they were pre-recorded segments where my poor sister had to hold the cell phone And we did take after take after take after take, and it was for 3 minutes. And now I give you 2 hours of where you get a chance to call and voice your opinion and engage. And the followers are getting higher and higher, and the views are keep on coming in. So like and subscribe to all the great channels and networks that we got coming. And you know me, I'm not going to give up on this. Fan Arch is going to be big. Bucs Latest is going to be a big show. It's going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So you might as well get on this train as it goes right now. Let's go out to the commenters. And of course, as always, the phone lines are open. As I set the table, you come to eat. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Bucky Irving had some offseason shoulder surgery. How concerned are you, Bucs fans? As I will get out to the comments in just a moment, getting ahead of myself because I'm excited. Bringing it. What do we always say? Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. So how concerned are you with that? Mike Evans, some contract numbers out there. What was it? 2 for $26, $13 million. Bucs fans, are you paying that? Do you think Jason Light would pay that? We'll talk about that. Lavonte David certainly seems like, once again, he's getting that itch to come back and play in 2026. It kind of reminds me of talking to him last year at the Florida State Expo, which, by the way, that's only a couple weeks away. And you know me. When I'm out there, I got the internet going. We're going to be talking to all kinds of guests, and they will be announced. And I'm going to tell you, Bucs fans, I'm going to tell you, Rays fans, I'm going to tell you, basketball fans, you're going to love what we got coming up here in the next couple of, actually, it's in March. So it's not in a couple weeks. See, I'm getting ahead of myself here. No, it is. It is in March. I mean, it is February 16th. It's crazy how this month is flying. It's in a couple weeks. We'll be out there live at the Florida State Fairgrounds. So lots of things to be excited about as I got my Fan Arch Network up there right now. So let me get that down. Let me go back there. There we go. Bang. Right there. So we'll go out to the comments. As always, open phone lines. But like I said, Bucky Irving with shoulder surgery. What do you think about that? How concerned? Mike Evans, the contract figures, Lavonte David, Max Crosby rumors, and how that fire continues to, where there's smoke, there's fire with Mr. Crosby, and he could have put it out and he didn't. So guess what? It's free game at this point. Well, we can speculate all night long here on the evolution of sports talk television. Bradley Chubb done with the Miami Dolphins. Tyreek Hill done. What do you think of that? And then, of course, we're getting to the Tampa Bay Rays. I'll throw this question out there because, once again, we got the great L. Bushman of the Rays Rewind podcast. He was at Rays Fan Fest. Were you out there? Do you feel an excitement? Do you feel it, Rays fan? I know there's some Rays fans out there. If you weren't awake now, I know you're awake after that. Is there excitement for the new ownership, what they did in the offseason? We'll talk to him about 9:30, so 15 minutes away. So let's go out to these comments. We'll read them, and then we'll take your phone calls as always. Let's go, Peter Blake and the Sports Web. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Parrish there in California on YouTube. Appreciate you. What's up, PB? This offseason going to be interesting. Bucs got to be aggressive. Got to be aggressive. I agree with that. Completely agree with that. I don't agree with keeping picks. I don't agree with saving money. It's not my money to spend. I'm not a capologist. I tell you this over and over again, webheads. I failed college math, so I'm not real good at it. Here's what I do know. Jason Light, Mike Greenberg, the crew over there, they know what they're doing. They're wizards. So let them do their thing. Let them cook, as the kids would say. Let's go out to Tiger Stripes Media. Good evening to you. Good evening to you.
Yes! Yes!
Bucs for life. Absolutely. It is Bucs for life here.
Fire the cannon!
Let's see. Let's go out to Tim Haynes. What's up, Peter? What's up with you?
Oh, yeah!
Realtor David Zuzman laughing already. I wonder what he's laughing about. What are you plotting, Realtor David Zuzman? How much hatred do you have for Jason Light? Free agency hasn't started. And by the way, we're less than a month away from the legal tampering, which is interesting in itself. The legal tampering period of free agency where your Tampa Bay Buccaneers talk to respective free agents and see what they can do. And who will they talk to? Well, they signed some guys before them. Bradley Chubb is out there. 8.5 sacks last year, just throwing it out there. Looked pretty good. Is that a guy you want to take a flyer on, or do you want to go? Do you want to go? You want to go full scale here? I almost said something else. I didn't say it. You know what? I will say it. Do you want to go balls to the wall? Do you want to go out and get Max Crosby? Do you want to give up 2 first-round picks? Do you want to give up a player? How bad do you want to be good? How bad do you want to be great? How bad do you want this defense, Bucs fans? It's out there. The rumor is out there, and it's not going away, my friends. It is not. King Cook, 1485. What's good, Peter? What's good, Buccaneer Nation? We are back. We're always back here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Brian Wilson says, go Bucs. You know what that means, go Bucs?
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Todd, it is exciting, Todd. It is absolutely exciting.
How about them Bucs, baby?
By the way, check here. Todd Bowles he's still the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. February 16, 2026, just throwing it out there. Right a couple days away or after Valentine's Day for your sweethearts out there that love Todd Bowles as a coach.
Fire the cannon.
There you go. Let's go out to Lamar. Lamar says, aloha, brother PH Blake. Aloha to you.
Oh, yeah.
There in Oregon. Let's go out to Dave. What's up, Peter? Watching the best sports talk show on the web. I appreciate that. Ed Gross says, go Bucs. You know what that means? Go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
It's exciting.
Go Bucs.
Fire the cannon.
Go Bucs.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Go Bucs. Good stuff there. Let's go out to Lamar. Bring the passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense, and let's talk sports. Talk sports to me. Perfect shirt, by the way. Perfect shirt. Talk sports to me. Don't talk nonsense. You're absolutely right. Dave says, what do you think about Evans' agent's memo he put out there? Did he silence the noise about Mike Evans? That was interesting, to say the least. He puts a memo out there saying the clickbait, as I kind of warned you a couple of weeks ago, because I told you my family, they send me things. Oh my gosh, what's going on with Mike Evans? And, he's donating all this money to the Hurricane Relief Fund, which is complete and total nonsense. And he's supposed to be going here and going there. And again, you just have to check the sources out. And I just threw this out there to my family, and I'll throw it out there to you. If I'm not reporting it, if your Rolex reporter is not reporting it, it's not happening. Unless I'm working during the day, which I do now for Smart Financial. But if I'm not reporting it, more than likely, it's not true. Check your sources. Check your Bucs sources, your Pewter Report, your Joe Bucs fans. Those sources right there, NFL.com, your local radio stations, your TV stations. The Facebook websites are out of control. And they're overseas, and nothing against it. I get it. They're trying to get clicks and stuff like that. But a lot of that stuff is absolute nonsense. All right, let's go out to the phone lines here as we start here on a Monday night. Let's go out to this guy right here.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell is the matter with you?
Jim from Ohio, welcome to the Evolution. You're leading it off here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television on a Monday night, my friend. What's up?
How you doing, Peter?
I'm pumped up, man. I'm good. Another day, another dollar, if you will, or another night, another dollar here on the Evolution. I mean, what could be better? We're talking sports. We're talking about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're talking about, combine, draft, and of course, just a free agency here in just a couple weeks. So I'm good, my friend. How are you doing?
So we got a couple weeks for a free agency, huh?
Yes, sir. We do. Mm-hmm.
How long do we know what Mike Evans and Lavonte David's going to do?
Well, I believe it's like March 9th. March 9th is the legal tampering, so you should hear something. You should see something. I think they're going to get a deal done. You're going to know something with Lavonte David. He continues to come out and talk about wanting to come back. It certainly seems like it. We'll get into that in just a little bit. And then, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, I get it. The rumor is out there that Mike Evans wants to go somewhere else. But until he goes somewhere else, I think he's a Tampa Bay Buccaneer for life. The way he talks, and then you put out the figure there, 2 for 26. which is the projection on various websites over the cap there. 2 for $26, $13 million a year. $13 million a year for a Mike Evans. I'm taking that all day long and twice on Sunday. How about you, Jim?
Yeah, I'll take it, man. Just get them back. Get them back.
That's it.
What do you think? Are we going to make a believer out of the Realtor and Harry the Greek?
Well, listen, I think Harry believes in the Bucs. Harry just has, we have different opinions, and he was right the other night. You kind of convinced me with the Trey Hendrickson stuff with if they strike out on Max Crosby, which there are rumors out there, and I've looked online to where he could go to the Chicago Bears, and there's 20 different teams that are going to offer different packages when it comes to picks and players and stuff like that. So, you may not be able to get an opportunity to get him. So at least you don't have to give up picks. You go out there, you get a Trey Hendrickson, which, is a little bit older, but still productive. That's how you got to be aggressive. How much you're going to pay him, that remains to be seen. I don't think you can go into this thinking we got to save all our picks. We got to do what we've been doing here the last couple of years by not being able to address that edge position, because you have got to get more pressure on the quarterback. Keep on saying it over and over again. 12 sacks in the second half of the year, not going to get it done. You look at the defenses around the National Football League. I look at the Seattle Seahawks. No great superstars, but they're built up front. They're getting after the quarterback. That is the difference between the good, the great, and the good and great teams. That's what it comes down to. Pressure up front, and that's what the Bucs don't have and haven't had the last couple of years.
Well, I believe in defense wins championships since.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, the defense won the championship this year, did they not, for the Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah, they did.
What did we learn, right? You can still play defense. You still have to run the ball. You don't turn over the ball. You can play defense. You can win a championship. It's just that simple. Sir. Football's not a difficult game.
We built up our offense, but our defense is being neglected. So
yes, we need
Jason Light to do some magic and make a believer out of these guys are saying, I don't know if he's been doing his job right. I think he can do it, man.
I definitely think he can do it too. I think he's got to do it. You're absolutely correct about that. Yes, sir.
I don't want to, like you say, almost every show, we don't want to retool, man. That's going to be a lot of work. So
yep.
Hopefully we can get ourselves together this year. We should be, if not in the Super Bowl, one of the top teams in the league. So period. Like, that's why fans was getting mad last year. So
fans just get mad over any old thing all the time. It doesn't matter if this team wins the division. But I get it.
But I can see where they was coming from, right?
Well, yeah, of course you can. You can't start out 6-2 and then finish the season off at 8-9. That just doesn't work. It doesn't work anywhere. And of course, people already wanting Todd Bowles fired just once again adds fuel to that fire, right? But once again, he's still the head coach. It's February 16, 2026. Just to check in here for you guys, Todd Bowles is still the head coach. All right, Jim, what else?
None of the offense is going nowhere. None of the coaches, none of the head coach ain't going nowhere.
Well, they made wholesale changes across the board when it comes to offense and defense. That's why a lot of people are kind of, scratching their head saying
why. Talking about the head coach and the GM, they didn't change.
Well, they didn't change that. No, they didn't, but they changed everybody else. Yes. All right, Jim.
Yeah, I know they made a lot of changes.
All right, man.
Man. I hope we get this going this year. I'll make another call. I want to talk to you about different sports.
All right.
But I'll keep listening.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate you as always. Let's go out to Mr. Eric Moreno. Eric, welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television.
Bring the passion. Bring the excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense.
There you go. You came strong to the mic. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I was Cooper Kupp had signed a 3-year, $45 million contract.
Okay.
So that's kind of equivalent to a 2-year, $26 million.
Would you pay that for Mike Evans? $13 million a year? Is it worth it for Mike Evans? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think even 15 or 16 in that range.
So if you know that, and we think that Jason Light values Mike Evans, and Mike Evans values the Tampa Bay community and values this organization, I think they'll be able to get it done. Although again, the rumors persist that maybe He could be going, he wants to go to a Super Bowl contender at this point and more of a playoff contender. And I'm not saying the Bucs can't be that. Maybe he's waiting for the Bucs to make moves, and we'll see. We'll see what they do in the offseason as it will all unfold here in the next couple of weeks when free agency starts. What else, Eric?
Do you know? I was reading the post on Bucky. Do you know when he had it? Maybe like right after the season ended, like a month ago, maybe?
According to our friends there at Joe Bucks Fan, he undergone a procedure on his shoulder since the season ended. Per the report, the recovery process is not expected to significantly impact his participation in the offseason program. Of course, Irving missed 7 games from week 5 through 12, returned in week 13 after gaining 1,122 rushing yards as a rookie. His production dropped to 588 rushing yards in 2025, averaging 3 yards per a carry. Still, at the end of the day, listen, he's coming off that injury. I'll give credit to where credit is due. Harry the Greek said he's not sure if Bucky is a third down back. And maybe this year kind of showed that. I have faith in him, but I still think you have to address that running back situation because you're anticipating, and we'll get out to L. Bushman in a moment. I see him in the green room there. Rashad White is gone. He's burned every bridge here in Tampa with his comments. Sean Tucker is a restricted free agent. I know that the organization, they really like him a lot. And they think he has lots of potential, but don't be surprised if maybe they address this in free agency with another running back. I'm trying to think of the guy's name from Atlanta and it escapes me right now. Tyler Algier, right? As I said before, what does Algier want to be? Does he want to be a backup or does he want to be a starting running back? There may be a team out there willing to pay him starting running back money. And then also you could tab a running back in the later rounds, not in the first, second, or third round, but maybe a fourth, fifth guy. Fourth round, you got Bucky Irving. Maybe you can do the same thing over again, but you still have to address that running back situation. And I think there should be some concern there with Bucky Irving coming off that surgery on his shoulder. You still have to address that position. What else?
Hopefully we get Mike Evans back, and then maybe go after a guy like Bradley Chubb. Won't cost you any picks. Maybe 16 to $18 million range. So you have 8.5 sacks last year. Maybe that's a guy. I don't think Reddick's coming back, and then you got David Walker, but you don't know. He's coming off ACL, so you don't know what you're going to have from him.
Well, you don't. But there were a lot of expectations. Eric, I got to run. We're going to get out to L. Bushman, the Rays Rewind podcast. Use the second call if you want to, my friend. All right?
All right, have a good night.
All right, good night to you. Let's go ahead and get out to this guy. It's 9:30. He contacted me a couple weeks ago and said, hey, you ready to talk some baseball? And I said, is it that time already? And it is already that time, Rays fans, because people go, you don't talk enough about the Rays. You don't talk enough about the Lightning. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you the opportunity. I'm going to get L. Bushman on of the Rays Rewind podcast because that's my guy. Let's get out to him, Evan L. Bushman of the Rays Rewind podcast. We are back, my friend. And,
what's up, man?
Well, let's start out with this right here. Let's get that off the screen. Let's start out with this. There we go. Were you surprised? We'll go with the football question. Were you surprised that Todd Bowles was retained? Because I know there's a lot of Bucs fans out there. Bucs thought he would be done. Was this the right move? You're versatile. You had your football show. What do you think about Bowles? And then we'll get into the race.
I really hope it was. I hope it's the right move, to be honest with you. I mean, I think with a lot of Bucs fans, with the type of play they were doing at the end of the season and the losses that we kept piling up. Yeah, was I surprised he was retained? No. So I think a lot of Bucs fans have that anger of, okay, well, you retain the head coach, but you get rid of everybody else. Yeah. Usually it starts off at the top and then it trickles its way down to the bottom. So I hope all these new additions that, Jason Light and Todd Bowles have brought in to help out the team works out. I mean, they've got plenty of holes to fill for next year, especially when it comes to the defense. So We'll see. And the offense needs to. I think this is bringing in Zach Robinson was a great move. I like that. It just we'll see. That's all I gotta say. We'll see.
We'll definitely see. It's going to be a crazy offseason. Let's talk about the Rays. Already a crazy offseason. I mean, where do we start? New ownership.
New ownership that is already a new breath of fresh air, because when do you ever see an ownership group or owners per se be interactive on social media and like message you back, tweet back out to you, take your suggestions? I don't think that's ever been done.
You mean the ownership actually cares?
Yeah.
About the baseball fan? I mean, I've been screaming this, Bushman.
I think we all have been screaming this for a while. Yeah.
And you finally get that. And, what you heard, and I wish I went out to the Rays Fan Fest. The energy was there. The fan support is there. It's amazing. Like everybody's, there's no such thing as baseball fans in the Tampa Bay area. And it's ludicrous because you haven't had the opportunity to have great ownership like you have right now with the Rays. And I think it's going to be a breath of fresh air. Let's talk about it, though. I mean, your thoughts on this ownership in general. What have you learned? What do you like? What do you see? What did you experience at Fan Fest? I mean, come on, take us.
Yeah, I'll take you back. So let's go before Race Fan Fest when they announced the ownership group of Ken Babby and Bill Cosgrove and Patrick Zaplitsky. I think when those three guys came in, I think straight out the gate too, especially with their opening press conference, you got a feel of okay, this might be something different. And I know there's a lot of people going, every owner's the same. They're going to promise you a lot of things and then don't deliver. And then they're just going to pocket, the money and stuff. I don't think that's the case with these guys. These guys actually care about, this team in this area and about keeping baseball in the Tampa Bay area, especially like from the get-go saying, hey, the stadium is the number one priority. And that's the big thing with me is, okay, they want to get this done. They want it. The timeline is 2029. It's still 2029 opening day on that year or two as well. And I think with the process they've been going through with, with Hillsborough County and, partnering up with HCC about getting a brand new stadium on that side and saying, hey, we not only want to put a brand new stadium, but we want to have a brand new site for your college and a battery type area for where fans, could go and relax, go have dinner and hang out at the bars that are going to be there. And, when there's not a baseball game, you can have concerts and all kinds of cool stuff to go along there too as well. So, and from the jump too, they want to get this moving. And that's what I like about these guys is they have gotten so much done within 6 months, less than 6 months of being owners than what Stu could ever do in 20 years as him being an owner, which is, to me, it's a sign of good things to come. And I know there's still a lot of people that have a lot of PTSD from, the last regime and the last ownership group. But I think people need to understand is give them time. There's a lot more stuff to come around. There's a lot more discussions too. There's a lot more things that happen, especially with the stadium thing. But give them time. They just became owners not too long ago. It's just right around. So give them time to cook. And that's what I keep telling people that have, those apprehensions about, hey, what's going on? Is this going to be in Tampa? Oh no, they're probably going to move somewhere. It's like, no, give them time. And what's also great about it too is Hillsborough County and all the political guys, all the officials, all the politicians, they want to work with this ownership group. They want to be involved with this. They want this to happen for Hillsborough County, unlike the past regime where, they put sour taste in everybody's mouth where nobody wanted to work with Stu. So with this ownership group, and look, coming out to Fan Fest is huge. I know they were in the crowd. I didn't get to meet any of them there. I think I left because it was so, dang hot outside and my kids were, ready to go eat some lunch. But I know they were there in the crowds, meeting people, shaking hands, taking pictures, which is big. I mean, Stu would do that. Yeah. But I think with this new ownership group, they're really hands-on and they're taking suggestions. They're wanting to hear from everybody out there about, hey, what do you guys want to see? What do you guys, what do you guys want to see in the tribe? What do you guys want to see from this team? We'll make it happen. We want to hear from you. And that's a big thing. And I think it's going to go a long way. So we'll see what happens on April 6th, 2026 for opening day against the Cubs. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. Against the Cubs, it's going to be fun. And the Rays on the field have done a lot of things. A lot of people looking at it, traded Brandon Lau to the Pirates in the 3-team deal, get Jacob Melton. Also traded Josh Lowe, get Gavin Lux there in a 3-team deal. Decline Pete Fairbanks now with the Florida Marlins. Ryan Valade, Jake Fraley, I mean, just making some moves. Also, Mangum, making some moves. Also, Mangum, not a part of this team anymore.
Yeah.
But looking at it saying maybe the Rays are resetting here, and then it comes back to Shane McClanahan. They traded Shane Baz. I mean, what do you think about the Rays moves? What are they doing at this point? Can they still be competitive in the AL East, or are they going to take a step back to give these prospects an opportunity, give these players an opportunity? What are we thinking about this Rays team in 2026 with all these offseason moves?
So I will say this. Don't ever say the Rays will never say they are rebuilding. They're just reloading. That's what I think they're always going to say is, hey, we're not rebuilding, we're reloading. And I think that's exactly what they did. And, the necessary moves, I would say, they had to do it. Look, Brandon Lau, was going to command a lot of money. It was last year for his contract coming in here. I think, there was a lot of trade talk over the last season too. And I think with the opportunity to trade him and to give back what they got from him, and also Shane Baz too, but the buttload they got back from Baltimore for Shane Baz, for all those prospects, and then getting Jacob Melton in the deal. So it's loading up to be. We're looking for the future. I think that's what this team is now. And can they be competitive? Look, I think on paper, a lot of people look, after the 5 spot on the starting lineup, it's a lot of question marks. There's not a lot of power there. Yeah. I mean, I still have my questions too about the rotation. I know everybody's, Shane's going to be back. Shane's going to be back. Yeah. What Shane are we going to get?
Right.
How many innings is Shane going to go? Is he going to be 100%? Those are all questions that still need to be answered, because look, pitchers and catchers did report last week. It's been full workout this past week as well, starting today, but we haven't seen them in full game settings. So what I like about this is, with what Kevin Cash has, he has a lot to play around with, especially in the rotation too, as well, because now you have, you have Raz, you have Pepio, you have Shane McClanahan, you have Steven Matz, you have Bob, you have Ian Seymour, you have Joe Boyle. You can play around with all that in the rotation too as well. So especially and it's also the starting lineup. You have a lot of options that you can do, but I think a lot of people are just kind of nervous about what, are they going to score enough runs for this pitching staff? Are they going to be able to do that? Because right now I think your powerhouse, your power hitters are Caminero and Yandy Diaz as of this point right now. So for me, it's still a lot of questions. I think once we get into spring, and then once we get closer to the season, you'll kind of see how the lineup's going to be and the rotation is going to be too as well. Will they be competitive? Yeah, I think that this team will be. I think this team will surprise a lot of people. And I know Harry's going to probably chime in and no, they're not. They'll get maybe 77 wins out of this. Listen, I bet the over on the win total. I think it was 75.5. I'll take the over on that.
Yeah.
Will they be competitive? Yeah, I think they will. Will they maybe a playoff team? Look, still early to tell. I mean, you never know. All these moves, it could surprise a lot of people, and then they could be just the surprise team of the year with all these young guys coming up and everything. But yeah, I think as of right now, they're going to be one of those teams that they're an underdog, and they've just still have a lot of questions to be answered about how everything's going to be set, by opening day.
We're on with Mr. L. Bushman, Evan L. Bushman of the Rays Rewind podcast. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for Rays fans, it's your time. What do you think of Cedric Mullins getting him? Disastrous second half for the New York Mets, former All-Star for the Baltimore Orioles. This seems like a reclamation project by the Rays. They can, maybe remake him. Is that what you get out of this? Because they've done this before. Had success more times than not. Is this what you think
I hope so. I hope so. I hope we get to see the Cedric Mullins that hit 30 home runs a couple seasons ago with the Baltimore Orioles. So, he's one of those veterans guys that come in and could make an impact early. I think with he's played a lot in the Trop when he was with the Orioles too, so he's familiar with the ballpark. Now coming back to Tropicana Field. And I forgot to mention Nick Martinez, who they got too as well this past week. Signing him too as well for a contract he'll be automatically in the rotation too as well. But with Cedric Mullins, he knows why he's here. And there's a lot of young guys in the outfield that he can mentor to, and that's one of the reasons why they brought Kevin Kiermaier in to mentor Chandler Simpson too as well. But Chandler, I think Cedric, I think it's a boomer bust. And I always say the Rays now, you can look at this team as an island of misfit toys, because there's a lot of cast-offs that the Rays like to scoop up, and then boom, they automatically become superstars, or they have like a bounce back season and they're hitting like 20, 30 dingers. So with him, I'm excited to see him because he is an exciting player to watch. I mean, he's great in the outfield. He's got great defensive skills. I just think with the bat, if you can get 20 to 25 home runs out of Cedric Mullins, it's a win-win for the Rays because you signed him for cheap. So it could be a boomer or bust with him. It's one of those things where, all right, we're rolling the dice on a guy that, had a down year, had a couple years of downness, and could we get him back to that season where he hit 30 home runs? Let's make a play for him. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see him in the outfield this year too. Him and Chandler would be kind of exciting, that double duo. So cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Rays love that. They love the athleticism there. They love the fact that they're your defensive players. Not only can they hit to a certain degree, but also they can make things happen on the base pass. And once again, defensively, what do you make of Junior Caminero? I mean, obviously the face of the franchise now, he's taking over that. Could you see some regression with them now not being at Stein, now going back to the Trop there?
No, I think this kid has just yet scratched the surface to being the superstar that he's going to be. There's not going to be any regression whatsoever. I can't wait to watch him play. And look, man, he hit 40 plus dingers, almost 50 dingers last year.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that to happen to the Trop where he's back in there, and people are going to be able to see him play once again. No, I don't think there's going to be any regression at all. He's, from what Kevin Cash and leadership has said so far, he's even taken the reins of being a leader in the clubhouse too, especially with guys that are the same age as him. What Kevin Cash said in his presser the other day at Port Charlotte was he's really kind of taken on that leadership mentality, which I think the Rays have lacked in the past couple seasons too. And if you can get that from your superstar, the face of the franchise per se, that speaks volumes about how this kid is taking the job and taking, the level of where he could be at seriously, unlike other superstars he was supposed to be, and then flushed it down the toilet. But we'll say that for another show.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Let's talk about Jacob Melton, possibly a guy that could be in the Rays' plans. You look at him, underwhelming statistics for the Astros in 2025, 157, 234, 186, 29 strikeouts, of course. But then you look at him in AAA for the Astros, 286, 389, 556, 150 plate appearances. Do you anticipate him making an impact, being Melton right away, or do you think this is going to be once again the Rays way where they have him go down to AAA, get some at-bats, and then come up here and make an impact? Do you think he makes an impact right away?
No, I think he's going to start probably in Durham to begin the season, and then you'll probably see him up, maybe halfway through the season. I think with him, he's one of those projects of where, hey, he's the centerpiece of that, Brandon Lau trade. But we want to take our time with him, especially when it comes to nurturing his skills. So you won't see him right away, but you will probably see him sooner than later. Kind of like Junior Caminero. I mean, he rose up pretty quick in the minors, and then you saw him sooner than later. I think that's going to be the same case for Jacob Melton.
I think it's the same also with Evan Longoria, which, by the way, they're looking to give him a retirement ceremony and kind of talk about
a proper retirement.
Yes,
a proper one.
Finally. Absolutely. So talk about Mr. Longoria there with coming up his first year there, of course, being a part of that 2008 World Series team, which also included, by the way, David Price coming up. So
save the dates. July 11th and July 12th will be Evan Longoria's retirement weekend at the Trop. I think they retire his number on the 12th, and then they have the Hall of Fame ceremony on the 11th. So that'll be fun.
Biggest concern with the Rays coming in this year, is it the lineup? Is it the lack of power? And then the thing that you're kind of impressed with, or you think that people should watch out for, is it the bullpen? What is it for you, Al Bushman?
I think for me, the biggest concern is actually the lack of power in the lineup. That's something that the Rays have really lacked. And I think we haven't really had that much power lately. We've had those guys. We have Junior Caminero, we've got Yandy Diaz, but I think that what the Rays should have done was maybe gone out and got maybe a little bit more power too, as well, to help out in that lineup. I'm really excited to see how the bullpen is going to be. I think this bullpen is probably going to be one of the best in the league. I think that's something to look out for. The rotation with me is still kind of question marks because of, how are Nick Martinez going to be in there? They're the elder statesmen of this rotation. So are they going to be able to eat innings and kind of give the bullpen a little bit of break? That's one of the reasons why they brought those two guys in, is because they can eat innings. So it gives a little bit off the bullpen. So, but with the rotation, it's, is Shane going to be healthy? I hope they don't slot him. I know he's the ace. I really hope if I'm Kevin Cash, I'm not going to put him as number one. I'm going to keep Raz as number one. Maybe put Shane McClanahan as a 2 or a 3, put Pep as a 2, and then drop down McClanahan as a 3, and then add in one of your other guys in like Seymour or Boyle, because then you could give Shane kind of like that extra start off. That way he has more rest and everything. So like I said before, he can get creative with this rotation. But with me, it's how the lineup's going to be against the great pitching of the AL East, which every other team in the division pretty much loaded up, except for, the Yankees kind of did, but I think everybody else kind of loaded up on bringing in quality, all-star players. So we'll see. It's going to be fun.
Last question. I get you out of here. L. Bushman, appreciate the time here on the Evolution. Once again, like and subscribe to his podcast, the Rays Rewind podcast. Real quick, go ahead and promote yourself. And then I got a last question for you, which would be, are we looking at finally in baseball history a salary cap, or eventually a lockout next year? But go ahead and promote yourself real quick.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at the L Bushman, and then also you can go on at the Sick Podcast Rays Rewind YouTube channels, hit the subscribe and notification bell, and then go to Instagram as well. Follow us at the Rays Rewind Podcast too as well. New episode coming this week. I think we record tomorrow. So, yeah. Well,
there you go. Are we getting into a salary cap finally, in your opinion?
I hope so. I think it needs to happen. I think it's time.
I think it is time too. But I've heard that what the Dodgers have done, owners are tired of it. I get it. You make money, you spend money, but nobody else has that competitive balance. It's what the owners want to do, and they're going to
So from what I've heard, I think this is what Jeff Passan reported a couple weeks ago, is the owners are kind of ready to do it. It's all about the players and how they're going to react to it, because the players right now, they don't want that. They don't want a salary cap because, everybody wants to have Juan Soto money and Shohei Ohtani money. So it's pretty much how they going to present this to the players if, the salary cap is on the table, because, we could be facing a lockout in 2027 if it doesn't get done on 11/59 on December 31st, 2026. So wow. I hope it doesn't happen, because that really kills the momentum of the league. But I think for me, and I think for a lot of fans that are in the smaller markets like Tampa Bay and the Arizonas of the world and the Miami Marlins of the world, I think a salary cap needs to happen, because then you have the equal playing field for everybody, and then it'll be, I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think the Dodgers just doing this and just grabbing everybody and just throwing out mega money is insane. So, but yeah, I think it needs to happen. It's time.
It's time too. All right. L. Bushman, appreciate the time as always here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. We'll see you soon, my friend. All right.
Yeah, man. Go on. See ya.
All right. He's out of here. There you go. All right. We'll get back to Bucs talk. I know you guys want some Bucs talk, so we got you covered here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. As we go back to the one shot here, we'll go back to the comments. We'll take your phone calls. If you don't know the number, you should by now. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So reading some comments there. Let's see. What do you think about Mike Evans' agent's memo? We read that already. I think it's interesting. Once again, putting it out there. That's some of the things you just can't believe it. But then again, there have been rumors out there that he could look to another team. Do you believe that? And the projection is 2 years, $26 million, $13 million a year. Yes or no? Is Mike Evans worth that $13 million or more? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. HB Day. Happy birthday. Thank you to my aunt. I appreciate that. Aunt Tammy, a football buddy right there. Her birthday yesterday. I want to come to one of your shows. Ed, always welcome to come to one of my shows. I'm driving 3 hours to get a haircut. There you go. Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Feel free to come out. Let's go out to Alex. Alex,
God dang it, man! I missed him. I was on the phone. I wanted to talk with.
We'll get him back on again, man. It's not like the end of the world, but
Dang
I know
it.
you want to talk.
But
to
anyway,
him. Yes.
I want to talk about the Rays real quick, just while we're on the subject real quick, and then if we have time to talk about Bucs. But talking about the Rays real quick, listen, this ownership, man. Let's talk about this ownership real quick. They're doing a great job.
Yes.
How awesome was it to see that they brought KK back in as a coach? They brought
Brett
Phillips back in
to
come in and hype the crowd. He's just hired to make a difference in the crowd. Fan Fest out here was lit. Man, these owners in 5 months, Peter, have done more than Stu has done in 5 years.
Wow. Let the truth set you free. Exactly.
Now, talking about the roster.
Yes.
Now, listen, I know in my heart that they are focused on the stadium. I know that's a big deal. Again, they bought the team at $1.75 billion, I think it was. Obviously, their first year in ownership with the situation that they endured, no stadium, Hurricane Milton, which, by the way, hats off to these ownerships, the city of St. Pete for getting the Trop ready. It looks beautiful. I saw a picture of the new turf. It looks absolutely gorgeous. So hats off to the new ownership and what they're doing on getting the stadium ready for opening day. But listen, I don't have any high expectations going into 2026 season. Our pitching is going to kind of rely on Shane McClanahan coming back. How he's going to do? Are they going to have a leash on him?
Yeah.
It's his first year back in 2 years pitching. You still got Rasmussen. You got a couple signings added on to the starting pitching. I'm not real fond of our lineup, to be honest with you. I don't see no real power. The Rays didn't get a solid catcher. They didn't do anything there, which I was honestly very surprised. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you, with all the Rays fans. I don't see the Rays going above 500 this year. I'm being a realist,
right?
But I don't want people to take the first year and judge this new ownership by that, right? Because I think what the Rays are doing, this is my opinion, and you can, put your input on it. I think what they're going to do is they're going to save cap space. I like to call it cap space. I like to give it like the buck. I call it cap space, but you know what I mean. Sure. They're going to save money the next couple of years. I'm assuming in the next 3 months, 90 days, guys, the middle of the season, you're going to hear that everything so far with this new ballpark, HPC site, great location in my opinion. I know people have their own opinion on that, but I think in the next 3 months, by June or July, maybe even the All-Star break, that you're going to hear that everything is approved, everything's good to go, and they're going to start breaking ground finally, right?
Yes.
But what they're going to do is they're going to take these next 3 years, and you're not going to get like, you might get 500 baseball, but you're not going to get this top tier baseball everyone thinks they're going to get.
Okay.
Because you got to put it in an overall perspective, right? 2029, envision it, and I'll get out of here. 2029, new roster, hella roster, great starting pitching. Hopefully, Shane McClanahan, he pitches good. The Rays don't do the Rays way and trade him away, but we can get some good starting pitching in here. And 2029 opening day, you're sitting in a new ballpark with a pretty damn good lineup. Envision that, right? So these next 2 years, the next 2-3 years, listen, I don't have high expectations. Overall, the roster looks the same. I think Aranda's going to have another breakout season. Yandy's back. Of course, he's, Yandy's Yandy. You got a couple new additions. Cedric Mullins over in center field. Drake Fraley is going to be in right field most likely, replacing Josh Lowe. You're probably going to see Simpson over at second. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong about that. That's what I think they're going to do. But you're going to see a year. Oh, and I'm waiting for, and I think this will bring a lot of Rays fans back. I'm waiting for the Caminero extension. Sign Caminero while he's cheap, while he's still young.
Mm-hmm.
Sign him to that long-term deal. Listen, I'm not going to say his name. Say his name one time.
Yep, don't say it. No, don't say it. No.
To a WF type contract.
Yeah, don't say it. You could say Evan Longoria contract. How about that?
Okay, we'll say an Evan Longoria first time Rays type contract.
Yes.
And get these fans excited for long-term
Well, I
players.
think they're already excited, Alex. Appreciate the call. As always, use the second one if you want to, my friend.
Wait.
Yes.
I predict the Rays at 82 wins.
All right, 82 wins early. Now you have an opportunity to change this prediction because there's still time.
I say 82 wins, and
Okay.
if I get some time tonight, I'll call about the Bucs.
All right.
See you, buddy.
Sounds good, buddy. All right. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. We'll read the comments and then we'll get out to more stories here about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What move are we going to make? It'll be interesting. We'll talk more about that. Very good. Bucs latest. Thank you. Realtor David Zuzman right there. I subscribed already. Ed, do you guys think we should have Lavonte David come back? I mean, Father Time seems to be caught up to him some. Also, I'll be fair to this. David was dealing with a knee injury. Is he the Lavonte David from 5 years ago? Of course not. Not at 36 years old, but he's still able to make plays. And once again, from these comments, and I'm going to get to these comments in just a moment, it certainly seems like, once again, he's ready to come back for the Bucs. And then on top of that, he has a bad taste in his mouth. So I'll answer that question with these comments in just a moment. You think Bucky will be full go for training camp? From everything I've heard, it's going to be July. He'll be fully recovered, and the Bucs are going to definitely need that. He'll be back better than ever. Sign Caden Ellis. Allow him to learn from David will be great, says Brian Wilson. Thank you very much for the comment. A new webhead here talking today. Thanks a lot for commenting on the reels as we put reels out there. Appreciate all the engagement. I love that. People go, why do you write back to everybody here? I think this is what makes the sports web different. I try to write back to you, Bucs fans, because I like talking to you. I like when you comment. I like when you engage. Whether we agree or not, I'm going to comment on what you have to say. I'm not going to be an idiot and, not comment. I think engagement, this is what this show is all about. This is why people continue to tune in on Monday and Wednesday nights and throughout the years here on the various platforms. I think this year Mike is leaving. Something is different this year. All right, Bobby Raines, there you go. The big board right there, Mr. Andrew Fulbear. How you doing, my brother? How you doing right there in Canada? Okay. Alex Nunzer right there. Got a lot to say about the Rays. You did. Thank you very much for calling in. Eric Moreno there. Everybody on YouTube. I love this. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web. And, of course, friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. But love the YouTube. I look at what Bucs latest is on Fan Arch, and that's what I kind of want for the Sports Web because that thing is blowing up, and it's only been a week. So if you're a fan of the show, go to YouTube, like and subscribe there. You get the opportunity to get the notifications, and that's what you need to do. I saw a projection from Mike Evans, 2 years, $26 million. You'll think he'll take that from the Bucs. We'll see. He's been able to do that in the past. He's taken less money. I should say he's been able to restructure contracts, not necessarily taking less money, but he could have got more money a couple years ago from the Houston Texans and more than likely from the Kansas City Chiefs. So he's made lots of money over, I think it's $151 million total lifetime. So is it about money? Is it about this team having an opportunity not only to win the NFC South, but also be a Super Bowl contender? I think it's a little bit about both. All those things that we talked about, whether it comes to money, being competitive, being a playoff team, being a Super Bowl contender. I think he's looking at all that. And again, when you hear him talk in press conferences, he comes off as being a Derek Brooks, playing for that one team, playing like a Rondé Barber as a lifer for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's see here. That's right, Peter. No time to be cheap in that Bucs front office. Yeah, no cheap here. I'll never say be cheap. Keep your picks. Be aggressive. It's the time. That window, you never know when that window closes. And listen, people's jobs are out on the line at this point. Make no mistake about it. They had wholesale changes on the offense and defensive side of the ball. But Todd Bowles might be feeling the pressure with being on the hot seat. Jason Light may be feeling the pressure at this point because the Glazers, they want to win. And they've shown in the past that they will invest money to do that. Make no mistake about it. This is a pressure-packed offseason. We always say it's the most important offseason every year. This seems like it's a very important offseason. Doesn't seem like it. It is a very important offseason. You got to be aggressive. You got to be willing to spend money, take some chances. Not the ones you did with the bargain bin shopping of Hassan Reddick and $14 million. That's not what I'm talking about. But at the time, because hindsight's 2020, it seemed like that was the right move, but it wasn't. It didn't work out. Didn't work out at all. No, didn't work. Dave says it's going to take more than draft to fix this defense. Light is going to have to make a splash in free agency pool, especially at DE and the outside linebacker. Agree. Realtor David Zuzman, I was laughing when you were joking about the technical issues. Yes, the technical issues. They just pop up sometimes, and there's nothing you can do about it. This is what you love about a live streaming sports talk show like the Sports Web. And what is it exactly if you're tuning in and you're new to this? It's a cross between a radio and TV show with sound effects like this, which we'll get back to that sound effect in a moment because Lavonte David had some things to say. And we have to use that sound effect because I can't curse because I don't want to disappoint people. I don't want to embarrass people. But you have phone calls here. You have a live 4K camera. You're able to engage. We just call it the evolution of sports talk television. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I want Max Crosby. I also want Lavonte David. I want Henderson. You want everybody. Good evening, Peter, says Ben Cornett from Las Vegas. Good evening to you.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Bobby, who is taking Gene's spot in the booth. Jason builds to the draft. I doubt Max is coming. First, I don't know who's taking Gene's spot in the booth.
Fire the cannon.
But as you know, he's retiring. So when we have that information, we'll pass it along to you. I don't know it yet. I doubt Max is coming. I would never doubt Jason Light, but we'll see. We'll get into it more because Max Crosby could have put this fire out, and once again, he didn't. Mesidor and Chubb would work rotation pieces, says Brian. Of course, Bradley Chubb cut 8.5 sacks last year. Is that a guy you think the Bucs should kick the tires on? Remember, he missed 2024 with the dramatic knee injury, then came back 8.5 sacks, looked good. 48 sacks for his career, 29, 30 years old. He's not really up there. He may not cost you a lot. Is that a guy that you want to see the Bucs go after? Bradley Chubb. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Like the Mesidor pick a lot, like what he did with the Miami Hurricanes. It hurts me to say that because I'm a Florida State fan all day, every day. But that kid was a dominant force along with Mr. Bain Jr., who may go top 5, top 10. If I have my druthers, I like him to drop at 15, but I don't think he's going to get there. He's that good. Both of those kids are very good for the Miami Hurricanes. So I like that comment. Realtor David Zuzman, 2 for 26 would be a great deal. I love that. Would be a number 13 for the last 2 years. Dave says, just subscribe to Bucs latest. Easy for me to say. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's what I'm talking about. Get those subscriptions up. Subscribe to it if I can say it, because I'm so excited about that show and Fan Arts Network. I love it. There's an energy to it. It's 10 to 15 minutes a day. I'll try to give you 10. Usually, about 13 to 15 minutes of Bucs talk. Let's go out to this guy right here. Sun Devil Dave, welcome to the evolution of sports talk television on a Monday night, my friend. What's going on?
Thank you for wasting my time. Goodbye forever.
There you go. That's how you start out the show.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
God bless, man.
God
happy
bless
Monday.
you. Yeah, happy Monday.
It's great. Great weekend. Getting back in the groove. Look, I think I talked about Mike Evans and Godwin and Bucky Irving ad nauseum. So I'm gonna switch gears. We're gonna have a new segment called Dave's Five Guys.
Dave's Five Guys. Okay.
So we're gonna.
Are these
So
these the
basically-
5 guys that participated in the NBA dunk contest this weekend?
That's good enough to suck right
No,
there.
it was
Anybody
a-
know
that
who
was a
those
disaster.
guys
I really
were?
didn't watch
I
much
mean,
of it, but
wait a
I heard
minute.
it
You
was
go
pretty
from you go from Dominique Wilkins, Michael Jordan, Spud Webb, Larry Nance, to, I don't know what there was this weekend, but at least you had like Vince Carter there, Isaiah Ryder, some play. Like, I don't even know these guys. Like, they could be baggers at a local grocery
G
store.
League guys,
I wouldn't. Well, the G League guy, he said, you know what? I'm going to go home, taking my ball and going home. Nobody can
Okay.
beat me. Max
I
McClung,
didn't
who
even
is
watch it, so.
the nephew of Seth McClung, who used to pitch for the Rays. I mean, he decided to call it a night because it's so underwhelming at this point. So yeah, is it the 5 guys that participated in the dunk contest this weekend, or is there something else? What is it?
It's going to be something else.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
that's good.
looking at realism. We're going to talk about some 5 sneaky picks, and I got some information off of Clutch Point, which is a great site. I don't know if you ever read Clutch Points at all.
I read Clutch Points before. They're interesting.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But basically, like we talked about earlier, I just can't see the Bucs. I mean, everyone wants Max Crosby or Hendrickson and Myles Garrett. Okay, that's great. I just don't realistically seeing it happen. I think that the Bucs are always going to be frugal when it comes to free agency, moving players. They want plug and play. They want versatility. Well, basically, everybody wants versatility.
Mhm.
They want guys that can stay on the field anytime, whether it's 3rd and 28, 4th and 1. Make sure they can stay on in all types of different situations. They want linebackers that could drop back and cover guys. They want linebackers that could blitz, able to basically get make great tackles. So we're going to try to find 5 guys, and I kind of got some information here. I'm going to throw these names out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Nakobe Dean from the Eagles.
Yep, we talked about it.
Devin Bush from Browns.
Okay.
Okay, Ed Ingram, Texans, help out Baker on the line. John Franklin Myers at Denver, help out on the D line.
Defensive tackle. Yep, I heard about him.
Okay.
He may cost you a little
And
bit.
Alante Taylor from the Saints. Any of those guys stand out to you to think that the Bucs will go after?
Dean.
Just give me a reason why.
Nakobe Dean, because he's still young. He hasn't been able to stay healthy, quite frankly, but he's got lots of potential. Former third round pick out of Georgia.
Right.
Todd Bowles being connected to Georgia. Jason Light,
Right.
how much did he like Dean coming out of college there? Getting him, it'll be
Still
cheap.
young.
It'll be $8 million
But-
to fill
And
that
not
linebacking
overpriced.
spot.
But that's going
Right.
to be super priced though.
Correct.
Not like of course, you want Myles Garrett and Crosby. We know this, but let's be realistic. So I just threw those 5 names out there to see if there's anyone that you think, would be a good fit for the Bucs as far as whether it's going to be offensive help, defensive help,
Right.
safety help obviously is good. But I was just looking at some names, looking at these guys, and I think, like I said, Bowles wants versatility.
Right.
And of course, every great coach wants that as well, to have someone that can, be able to.
Did you
like a
like and
linebacker, like
subscribe?
Zip-
Did you like and subscribe to Bucks Latest on the Fan Arch Network yet?
No, I haven't. I'm not familiar with
Bucks
that.
Latest on the Fan Arch Network, my friend. That's where you got to go to.
Okay, we'll look at that next time. I just wanted to get your opinions on that. So maybe the guy from the Eagles helping us out there
Yep.
on.
You also like to
and
get
of course,
the.
Lavonte David. Do you think he's coming back again for this year?
I'm going to read these comments, and you tell
Okay,
me
go ahead.
if you think he's going to come back. But it certainly seems
right.
like he is. Certainly seems like he's anticipating coming back. Just my opinion.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Good deal. So that was it. I just want to run that by you, and then maybe next week I'll throw some more names. We'll do another 5 guys, or maybe do the draft. So I'll kind of mix it
Well,
up.
when
a
you
little
say
bit.
5 guys, I get hungry here because
I
I'm
know.
starting to think of cheeseburgers and
Oh, I
fries
know,
at
I
this
know.
point.
That's the first thing I thought of when I said it, but I figured it's a nice little catch.
Basically hungry
Maybe
for
we'll
free
get them to
agency. That's what you're
sponsor.
telling me. All right. Well, it sounds
We'll
good.
do 5 guys, and then we'll do up the block barbershop.
There
so
you
you
go.
need that haircut.
There you go. Getting a
Extra
haircut,
plug.
and you're eating 5 guys, cheeseburgers and fries. You got to love that. All right, Sun Devil Dave.
All right.
How do
We'll
we
keep
end
in
up the
touch.
show?
I'll call you on Wednesday.
Okay.
Have a great Monday, okay?
Well, how do we end it?
Oh, thank you for wasting my time, and always goodbye forever.
There you go. Sun Devil Dave there from the land of the rising sun. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So, Dave, thank you very much for the subscription. Sun Devil had this to say also: run the ball, stop the run. Pretty simple. Like Bill Belichick says, do your job. Dave, I went back, watched the past season games, focused on the defense, and have to come to my conclusion the defense personnel was lacking. It wasn't all on Bulls. There was a lot of players out of position. Also, the outside pass rush was not there. So I'm going to give Bulls one more chance, and I won't bash him. Fair enough. I think you're absolutely right. The personnel wasn't necessarily there. Defensive scheme, players out of position. You got to get this all corrected. This not only comes down to Todd Bowles and the coaching staff and the energy that's been brought in, because that's what you hear from over there at One Buck Place, but also Jason Light making the right moves, making the critical moves, if you will. Grizzard and Baker literally ran Bucky into the ground. Damn. Bad season for Bucky Irving. Injuries, multiple injuries, offensive line being hurt. We always talk about it, right? Both guards being out. You're down to second and third stringers. Your offensive line is being reshuffled with Tristan Wirfs being out there for a little bit, and your center playing left tackle. I mean, it takes its toll. The football, the game of football is a war of attrition, right? And this is the reason why they say that, because 1 year you're the talk of the NFL being one of the top rookies, and the next you're a bum because of an injury, because of the injuries, because of everything else. So you got to definitely do a better job of keeping him healthy, keeping the offensive line healthy. And once again, this is the reason why you need 2 to 3 solid, good running backs at this point. They're amazing running backs in free agency this year. We talked about it. Tyler Algier is one of them. Excuse me, losing my throat, my voice here. Gatorade red flavor. Yeah, I love that. But you're exactly right. Dave says the way to address the running back situation is to sign Tyler Algier. He could already be a number 1 back, pair him with Bucky, and it could be done in Alstad all over again, like the way you think, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
Mike D. Roche's there from Canada. Let's all stop dreaming. Max ain't coming to Tampa. Mr. Pessimistic right there. King Cook, 1485. Yes, we definitely should draft a workhorse. King Cook again. Workhorse running back this year. Lamar says, Aloha, Evan. Joseph Collins, Mike Evans' wife won't let him move. She definitely played a big part in the free agency a couple of years ago. So we'll see how that plays out this time. Yes, stacked running back class in the draft. We need to find an all-purpose workhorse. King Cook, don't be so sure about that. You go where the money is. She will get over it. Mike D. Roche's here. Toronto Blue Jays will win the AL East. Brian says, Bucks, I'm ready. I'm ready too. Is Fan Arch app, or how do I join your new show, Bucks Latest, on YouTube, a part of the Fan Arch Network? Everybody needs to go there, subscribe every day, a Bucks show, 10 to 15 minutes. If you like the sports web, you're going to love this show here once again, and you can comment. It's not live. We're not taking phone calls. That's the difference between the sports web, but it gives you those Bucks stories that you need to get you through your day. You want more Peter Blake? You get more Peter Blake. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The Glazers aren't going to let Mike go. Just look at the Amazon doc. They regretted not paying Brown, so they won't let the greatest Bucks offensive player of all time play for another team. Damn it, Jim, what's the name of the show on Fan Arch? Bucks Latest. Dave, TJ is the obvious choice to replace Gene. TJ is awesome. Could be the voice of the Bucks for years to come. He would be my choice with Pete as the color man. I appreciate that. Dave Moore does a great job, though, for him, but I appreciate that, Dave. Your check is in the mail. Let's go out to King Cook, who said Chubb would be a rotational piece. That's crazy. Yeah, I think Chubb could definitely start for this team, if you will. NBA All-Star Weekend is a joke, especially the dunk contest. Absolutely. I did a mock draft today, and I like how we are positioned. We could make the entire defense much better if Jason Light navigates the draft better than he has been doing for the last 5 years. Realtor David Zuzman. We should definitely move back on the first round to get extra picks. If that happens, we could be in really good shape. Lots of talent out there. People acting like 5 years isn't long a time in the NFL. A lot of strikeouts in that time, especially on the defensive end of that. I think offensively done a better job. Defensively, got some picks there, but again, the edge rusher and of course linebacker, that would be the Achilles heel of this defense. Bucs fans, please stop with the T Hill to the Bucs. We don't need him and the headache. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Cansey being healthy will help. Definitely, that is a major, major thing for this defensive line, a major point of contention. We talked to Kalijah Cansey on this show last year, and you also saw the energy and the difference between that defensive line and what he can provide to it and how the line changes. But I'm not banking on just that. You've got to go out there, get an edge rusher. You've got to be more aggressive. Good stuff there, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Most GMs would have been fired already after so many misses and negligence and so many free agency opportunities. King Cook says, time to trade Vita. How come nobody wants to see this? I don't want to hear the double teams every play excuse because he's not giving us anything when we need him most in the game. I'm not ready to trade him at all. Peter, how are you an FSU guy drinking Gatorade? Go Knowles, Powerade forever. Yes, I'm drinking Gatorade. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get down to it here. Let's talk about Lavonte David, his comments on the Caps Off podcast in care of our friends there at Joe Bucs Fan. He says, to be honest with you, I think it's embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? We had ample amount of opportunities to be able to clinch our division. We lost to the Dolphins. We lost to the Saints. We lost to Carolina at their house. If we would have won one of those games, we would have made the playoffs, which is crazy and insane to think about. Like, after all that, losing all those games, we still have the opportunity to make the playoffs. We control our own destiny. We kind of like asked the bed. Does that sound like a player that's going to retire anytime soon? Or does that sound like a player that's got a bad taste in his mouth? Does that sound like a player that has something to prove? He talked about it already with the injury situation. He wasn't the same player. He wants to be the same player. He wants to be the player that the Bucs drafted in 2012. Father Time is undefeated, but I still believe Lavonte David wants to play for this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team and may want to surpass Derek Brooks with just one tackle to be the all-time tackle leader in Bucs history. How about that, huh? He also says this, I feel good. You know, I'm healthy. I'm happy. I'm undecided on retiring. I generally undecided, like I don't know. I still got a lot of football left in me. I know that for sure. I still love the game. I know that for sure. The other side is I want to spend more time with my daughter. She's in school, so I've been taking her to school, and it's a good feeling. Again, 36-year-old linebacker. He had more to say. He says it to the Caps All podcast. At some point in that time, we kind of like lost focus during the second half of the season. Lost track of what we were trying to accomplish, but it is what it is. Maybe we just didn't adjust, throughout the season. And sometimes you get so comfortable with certain people being out there on the field and being able to call things a certain way. And then sometimes you end up getting stagnant and getting predictable in certain ways. Who is he talking about? Where you don't have certain guys available to do these things. So like I said, I can't really point my finger at exactly what it was. He also says, we felt like we could beat anybody we played against. We never lost our confidence. That's a testament to Coach Bowles, too. He was always positive. He never gave up and down. He's never up and down. He's never up and down. So he's definitely was like even killed the whole time. Just like, man, we got to find a way. Leaders got to lead. Players got to be able to step up more than usual. Once again, does this sound like a player that wants to retire? Open phone line. Tell me what you think of all those comments, because Lavonte David has been going on everybody's podcast and talking about last year and what it could be in 2026. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. We already talked about the Bucky Irving stuff. Let's go out to this guy using a second call.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell's the matter with you?
All right, go ahead, my friend.
Who's trying to get rid of Vita Vea? I heard you say that.
Well, there are some people out there that want to trade him. He's getting up there in age, but I'm not one of them, my friend. I'm not one.
Never.
Yep.
We got to get players before we get rid of players. What's wrong with that, man? Anyway,
Yes.
you watch the NBA?
I try to. It's tough because I'm an Orlando Magic fan, and it's tough to watch them this year because they're up and down.
Oh, Orlando.
I can't watch the All-Star. I didn't even know the All-Star game or the slam dunk, and you got to turn your phone down. Just talk to me at this point because I can hear background there.
You shouldn't be. I'm sitting in the parking lot empty. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just can hear some background. Oh, now I can hear.
What does it sound like?
Well, it sounds like my voice in the
I turned
background.
it down.
Okay, good. Go ahead. Yeah, I watch the NBA. I watch a little bit of it.
Oh, okay. But you didn't catch the All-Star.
I did not.
The format of the actual All-Star game where they did what was it called? Overseas?
USA versus the world. Yeah, that's what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you think it'd be better? Everybody said they liked it better.
It was all right.
So,
I think it's all right. I don't think they do enough promoting of their superstars. I don't think they do enough of there's too many players and too many teams trying to tank and trying to load and all this other nonsense. And I think it's caught up to the league. I think the league is not what it used to be. That's all. I think that's the reason why a lot of people don't even know that the All-Star game was this weekend.
Yeah, I almost missed it, but I kind of caught a little bit of it.
Okay.
Did you see 500?
I heard Michael Jordan won. I didn't watch it, Dan. I did not watch it. I'm not a NASCAR fan. Yeah.
Well, my grandma used to have me. If I didn't watch an old NASCAR race, it was the Daytona 500 every year.
You watch a Daytona 500 every year. Okay.
All
right.
And yep, they big crashes at the end, like a lot of times.
Right.
And Jordan team was doing great. Bubba, what's his name? Bubba.
I know who you're talking about.
Anyway,
yes, he was doing well too.
Yeah,
yes.
one of Jordan's team's best drivers. He was up on a lot of the laps. Then at the end, he kind of got caught in the pack.
Right.
And then his other driver ended up winning, and I didn't even know. Lord, I barely know that man's name. The other guy.
Somebody said it best here. Dave says the NBA died 10 years ago. Yeah, I think they died even longer than that. It definitely died.
NBA, so y'all kiss my behind.
Bubba Wallace. That's who Dave says. Bubba Wallace.
Best watch anymore, but I watch it.
Yeah, the game has changed.
But I'm a sports fan.
Well, I think a lot of us are sports fans, but the game has changed. It's all about 3-pointers, no defense, no physicality, in my opinion. So
that's true. That's a lot. They could do better at that, but
definitely could.
I don't know. It ain't our league. What else? We can talk about that, about the NFL too. Get the defense back. All these daggone referees. Anyway, what else was we talking about?
Well, Jim, I'll let you go on that, my friend. I appreciate the call as always. All right.
All
right. Good stuff there. I love the call in twice. Ed, you're trying to call in. Open phone line 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Let's go out to more comments here. I would not trade Vita Vea right now, but I really believe we should draft McDonald or Christian Miller if we move back towards the end of the first round. Mesidor is no longer there. King Cook, what injury did Lavonte have? Knee injury that was reported. Ed Gross says, I don't understand why some of these fans want more wide receivers. We are good there. I feel like we need to work on the front of the defense, not the offense. Guys, come on, stop with we don't need Tyreek Hill. After hearing about Lavonte's knee issue the past season, I think he can come back, play a role on the defense, either as a platoon player, but he would definitely be a great mentor to a rookie linebacker, but not Dennis. Ed, welcome to the Evolution.
Hey, how's it going, Peter?
What's going on, buddy? What's on your mind?
All week long, I've been hearing Tyreek Hill coming to Tampa, Tyreek Hill coming.
He just got cut today, man. You were hearing about this a week before he got cut. And no, like, come on.
Why is he coming here? Why do we need him?
He's not coming here. Tyreek Hill's not coming here. Stop going to Facebook and, clicking on those sites with the clickbait. He's not coming to Tampa. They got plenty of wide receivers.
Why would he come? Why do we need him? Why do people want it?
They don't need him. I'm telling you, they don't need him. They got
it's not necessary.
They got your attention with that. That's why I
would not spend any money. If I spent any money on the offense, it would maybe be a running back. But other than that, I would go to the front seven. That's where I'd spend my free agent money at if I was the the guy calling the shots for the team right now.
Well, that's what they're probably going to have to. I mean, Bradley Chubb got cut today from the Miami Dolphins. Is that somebody you would be interested in? 8.5 sacks last year.
Sure.
29, turns 30 in June. He's still relatively young. He's coming off an injury, but was really good. Miami's going through a rebuild at this point. So Bradley Chubb, he would be on your list here.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. We need linemen. We need linemen as well as linebackers, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. What else?
The race was great. I know you're not a race fan, but some of us are here.
You know I'm not a what fan?
A race fan.
A race fan or a Rays fan?
Race fan. You know, like NASCAR.
I don't watch it, man. Well, what was
Yeah, I
great?
know.
Tell me about the race. What was it so great besides Michael Jordan
It
winning?
was very exciting.
Okay.
It was very exciting. There are a lot of. I don't know about most people, but I personally watched for the accidents, for the wrecks.
So
They're pretty spectacular.
You do know, not to make you feel bad, but it was 21 years to the day that Dale Earnhardt Jr. Got into a crash.
I know.
right?
I know. Dale Earnhardt died, 21 years ago. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
It's like playing football. It's a risky sport.
I should say Dale Earnhardt, not Dale Earnhardt Jr. Sorry, Dale Earnhardt. Yeah.
Dale Earnhardt, yeah.
Yes. 21 years. That's how long it's been.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What
Well,
else?
I'm just telling you, that's why I watch it. I don't know about most people. And I didn't watch that race where Dale Earnhardt died,
Right.
but I did see the accident. And it was,
All right.
it is what it is. But
All right. What else, man? What else is on your mind? Because Tyreek Hill's not going to the Bucs. He has no chance to go to the Bucs. Go
I
ahead.
hope not.
Yeah.
Do you think that we could get both Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson?
No, I think one or the other at this point. I don't think you go with two of them. There's one. What you do is you either get a Max Crosby or Trey Hendrickson, and then you go into the draft at 15 or in the second round, and you get yourself an edge rusher to be under a Trey Hendrickson or a Max Crosby at that point. So in case one of those guys, knock on wood, goes down with an injury, you have a backup plan. And then once again, you get a veteran that can mentor a young guy like that. Answer your question?
So the reason why I say that, because I think we need both a lineman and a linebacker, personally.
Well, you need
I mean, we have Vita Vea. He's great, but it would be nice to have that next guy. It's kind of like when we had Warren Sapp and we brought in
Booger McFarland.
Excuse me?
Booger McFarland.
Yeah, we brought in Booger McFarland, and we also brought in what was that defensive end we had there? Oh God, he was a monster, but I can't remember his name right offhand. But
Simeon Rice.
Excuse me?
Simeon Rice.
Yeah, Simeon Rice. Yeah,
He's a free
He's
agent.
a monster.
Yes.
When we had that line, it was just impossible to stop.
Well, that's what
And
you
I
want
know
to
it's
get
a
back
little.
to.
I know it's a little different when you have a 4-3 versus a 3-4, but still, you can't. If you have somebody really, really big and bad next to not Booger McFarland, but next to Vita Vea, it's going to be hard to double team him. Team him.
That's the reason why Kalijah Kancey is so important to this defense, especially in that interior line, because he can, he can get after it. He can draw off of those double teams. If you double and triple team, Kancey, if he could stay healthy, can definitely get after the quarterback.
Yeah.
The defensive line is different. You got Elijah Roberts coming back from last year. You definitely have to address that position because you've got Greg Gaines who's going into free agency. Logan Hall's going into free agency. So it remains to be seen if they're going to bring those guys back, and you may have to address that. But you're exactly right. Whether you're running a 3-4, 4-3, 4-6, you still have to get pressure on the quarterback using 4. And I think that's what Todd Bowles is starting to realize is you can throw all these exotic blitzes out you want to, but at the end of the day, you have to be able to rush from 4. Look at the Seattle Seahawks being a perfect example. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles against the Kansas City Chiefs a couple years ago in the Super Bowl, being able to rush from 4. You're not blitzing all the time. You're rushing from 4. Then you're moving in blitzes and and you're changing up your looks and stuff like that. That's what you can do. But you have to rush from 4. And this Bucs team was not able to do that, especially in the second half of the year, only having 12 sacks. It's not going to get it done. Anything else, Ed?
No, I just pray. I'm just praying every day to re-sign Mike Evans. Yeah. If we lose Mike Evans, then maybe we do need a Tyreek Hill. Maybe, I don't know.
I think you're good with what you have at this point with Chris Godwin, Emeka Ibuka, Jalen McMillan. You're still set there, but it definitely helps to have Mike Evans a part of that. Ed, appreciate the call. Use the second one, my friend. All right. Good stuff. Open phone line 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Let's go out to Realtor David Zuzman. Absolutely, most GMs would have been fired already after so many misses and negligence and so many free agency opportunities. I think I read all these. I think I read these comments already. So let's see here. Let's go out to Dave. People wanting Vita Vea gone or out of their minds. Take him away from the D. It would be 100 times worse. Agree. King Cook, 1485 says, no, you get rid of a player like Vita who still has some value on the market so we can get a player or more draft picks. We're not losing anything by trading Vita. Trust that. Laugh out loud. You're definitely losing something with not having Vita Vea in the middle, even though he's up there in age. He is definitely one of your big-time playmakers in that defensive line that, once again, when you get that edge rusher, will help you out. When you get a Max Crosby or Trey Hendrickson or somebody like that, definitely frees it up because, again, you take on that double and triple team from him in the middle, that frees up the guys on the outside. The NBA died 10 years ago. Good stuff. Bubba Wallace, yes. Oscar says, ever since the mid to late 2000s, the NBA hasn't been the same and has not. Lamar, I didn't realize that Bucky Irving had a shoulder injury. That in turn, because so bad that had to get shoulder surgery when it did happened last year, was an injury. And once again, according to our friends from Joe Bucs fan, he had surgery on it, a procedure on the shoulder since the season ended. Hill is going to crawl back to the Chiefs. He screwed up and knows it. Bank it. Yep, that's definitely where I think he's going at this point. Oscar says the team needs to work on the lines more on the D than the O. Agree. King Cook, we can't afford Max. Trey just would be too much on our cap. Brian says Cansey is the next one. Dave, YouTube equals Bucks latest. Subscribe. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that right there. But you guys keep forgetting Vita is no sap. Laugh out loud. Never have, never will. Stop it, folks. Yeah, he's never going to be Warren Sapp, just like Gerald McCoy was not Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp is a different player than Gerald McCoy. And Vita Vea is a different player than Ndamukong Suh. Absolutely. There are definitely differences, but Vita Vea has lots of value to this defensive line still. If you're trading Vita Vea at that point, to me, I think you're rebuilding. And this team cannot afford to rebuild, especially when there's jobs out on the line, especially with your head coach and possibly your general manager. When JPP and Shaq were gone, it really showed the pass rush. One came from the interior equals Vita Vea. James, Jim, should we get somebody to help Cansey? I think he's saying. I can't see. Maybe he'd move him down to a defensive end. Brian says mix it up in free agency and the draft. I think you're saying Cansey. I think that's who you're saying. King Cook, I would trade Vita for Jeffrey Simmons right now. I don't think the Titans are going to trade you Jeffrey Simmons for Vita Vea. Jeffrey Simmons is still a young defensive tackle in the league, one of their building blocks. Why would they trade them unless you're going to trade some picks for him? Let's all stop with the Lavonte talk. He knows he's coming back. He's just making Bucs coaches, management all panic and sweat. Brian says Kyle Pitts and Ellis from the Falcons definitely could steal them. They're not trading Vita Vea. And the Chubb, but make sure Mike comes back, says Brian Wilson right there. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. YouTube Super Chats are open. If you love the content, give to the content. And, of course, friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Let's get into this Max Crosby stuff. as he was actually rumored by NFL.com. This is what you get with Bucs latest. Put this out there. Eric Edholm of NFL.com says he would go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He says, I'll go off the grid a bit and pick the Buccaneers, whose pass rush evaporated down the stretch last season, recording just 12 sacks in the final 9 games. Tampa needs another difference maker up front to pair with Vita Vea and Yaya Diaby. Todd Bowles must resuscitate his defense, especially if Lavonte David decides to retire. Bucs GM Jason Light could call his former Majamo and Raiders GM John Spytek and offer a pretty good package, starting with the 15th overall pick in the draft. Now, of course, Crosby still under that contract, 3 years, $106.5 million. Had this to say when he went on the Let's Go podcast, because he could have put out this fire and he didn't do it. In fact, he had this to say, Crosby, everyone's hitting me up. Did you say this? I can't control that. You earned that as a player. If I wasn't doing the right things and if I wasn't the person and player I was, people wouldn't be talking about all of the nonsense. Yeah, use my word. There you go. Crosby also added to it. He said, if you have drama, if you have a losing season, they just try to throw gasoline on the fire and make things a certain way. For me, I know what I'm about. I know what I represent. I really don't care what everybody has to say. He also says, when asked about his goals, because 69.5 career sacks at this point, and in his 7 seasons, 4 double-digit sack seasons, he says, I just want to play football and be left the F alone.
That's good enough to suck right there.
He wants to be left the F alone. But here's the thing that's interesting about this situation. First and foremost, when Clint Kubiak was introduced as the new coach for the Raiders, he said that he thinks Crosby's going to be a Raider. Mark Davis, he hopes that Crosby will be a Raider. Guess who didn't show up to the press conference and Kubiak when he was introduced? Max Crosby. And once again, Max Crosby could come out and say, you know what? I want to be a Raider. All this stuff is nonsense. And guess what? He said none of it. And he's talking about, adding gas to the fire, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I definitely think he wants to be traded from the Raiders. He just hasn't come out and said it. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So that was Max Crosby on the Let's Go podcast. Now, of course, the Bradley Chubb era is over in Miami as the Dolphins are set to release him. They acquired Chubb in 2022, trading a 1st and 4th round pick along with running back Chase Edmonds, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers, to the Denver Broncos in exchange for Chubb. And a 5th round pick, he signed a 5-year, $110 million contract extension with Miami. And they were set to keep him with the Dolphins for 2027. But now his set base salary is $18.5 million. Accounts $31.5 million against the cap in 2026. So the Dolphins were going to cut ties. He's 29 years old. Again, turns 30 in June. Chubb had 8.5 sacks and 8 tackles for loss this year. Of course, coming off that injury in 2024. So that was impressive. Also says Sack overstates his effectiveness as a pass rusher. The figure ranked tied 20th in the NFL, but he tied for 40th in pressures at 48 and checked in 68th in pressure rate at 13.0%, according to True Media, and his 11% pass rush win rate per Pro Football Focus. So what that basically means is he still has something left in the tank, and the Bucs could see that when they played the Dolphins. Whether Tristan Wirfs was hurt or not, Chubb had a pretty good game. And, again, a guy coming off a serious knee injury where you miss all of 2024 to still have 8.5 sacks. So he's definitely a possibility depending on what the money situation is for, of course, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which once again, they can restructure some contracts and free up some money. And they're going to most likely do some of these things to do that before free agency starts. Now, CBSSports.com had this to say about teams that could be involved in the Bradley Chubb sweepstakes, and they list the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs tried to juice up their pass rush last offseason by adding Hassan Reddick. It didn't work out. They could take a similar flyer on Chubb, who has at least been productive more recently than Reddick, who was coming off a lost season in New York and Philadelphia when Tampa Bay signed him last year. So there you go. Let's go out to these comments, and we will continue to read, and then we will get out of here for the night. Appreciate you guys tuning in, as always, here on a Monday night here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. So no rebuild for 2026. Agree with that. Quit comparing great players to other great players, different eras and different teams with other great players around them. So tired of comparisons. Yes, sometimes comparisons are asinine. If Vita provides so much pressure, then why did every quarterback step up in the pocket and dice us up all year long? Because guys on the outside didn't do what they were supposed to do. They didn't set the edge. You allowed quarterbacks to expose that. On top of it, linebackers, like we've talked about, Savasi Dennis, not very good. Lavonte David banged up. I think there's all kinds of reasons, not just Vita Vea. When you're double and triple teaming a guy, you got to have somebody on the outside step up and win those one-on-ones. And yes, Yaya Diaby led them with 7 sacks, but didn't do it nearly enough. That's why, getting a Cansey, that's the reason why you drafted Cansey in the first place, to take the pressure off of a Vita Vea. So you can't double and triple team him. He's the key to that defense, along with an edge rusher, in my opinion. To answer your question, I think that definitely does. I was a Yaya supporter, but he needs to clean his game up. He gets pressure, but he can't finish. To me, he's slightly better than JTS, which isn't saying much. I think he's a lot better than JTS because he led the team in sacks. What was 7.5 sacks last year? I think it's a lot better than what friggin' JTS gave you. Mopar, another new webhead there on Facebook. Appreciate you, boss. Is Chubb worth a 2 to 3 year at his age, his market value? I think not. I don't know how much money he's going to be at this point, but if you're looking at somebody, it's a veteran presence. If you're not going with the Trey Hendrickson, is a Bradley Chubb in that situation? Even if you get a Trey Hendrickson or Max Crosby, would he be in that situation? Would he sign? I don't know. I think they're definitely going to look at it. But 8.5 sacks that would have led the Bucs last year if you get him, and that's pretty impressive. Saying coming off of that knee injury. Now, again, how much is it going to cost? I'm not a capologist. I don't think it's going to cost that much. But will there be teams out there looking for him? Absolutely, there will be, and some teams way overpay for him. So that's what you have to look at when free agency starts, or before free agency starts. Good comment. Did they cut Reddick? He's a free agent. Play Blues Wolf. Enjoyed listening to everyone. Cool show. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
Want Kayvon Thibodeau. Is he on the trading block? That's been certainly something that we talked about there. 2 giant goofballs. Andrew, thank you very much for tuning in. Chubb at his age costs us more likely not in our best interest. He's only 29 years old. He's going to be 30 in June. I mean, he's younger than Trey Hendrickson, although he's not as productive, but definitely understand where you're coming from. Bucs would be better off with a 1-year deal. That's not enough of cash on hand to handle a Chubb contract and address the rest, Dave says. So now it's time to bash Vita. Mopar says Bosa is the cheapest thing going, with also being able to draft an edge. Also, certainly a possibility, right? Because you add West as a defensive line coach. He's familiar with Joey Bosa. Bosa's up there in age. He was able to stay healthy for the first time in his career, had one of his most productive injury-free. But is he the same player? Maybe the Bucs kick some tires on that. Take a look at that. Again, connect the dots season when it comes down to it. Reddick, after this past season, we'll be lucky to get $1 million prove-it deal. Agree. Mike DeRoche's here. How much cap space did the Bucs have to go shopping? Something like it, I thought at the time it was 14.5, which is reported. But if you go to various sites, it's 16.8, 23. So again, fluidity, right? How much can you restructure? How much is it going to be? How does the cap work? I'm not one of those guys, but they don't have as much cap as the bad teams. Of course, Seattle, like they're 6th, they're Super Bowl champions. They have lots of cap room. New England has lots of cap room. Of course, Tennessee, Las Vegas, they have lots of cap room. They don't have as much as those guys. Are they going to have as much as those guys? No, but you need something to play with at this point to make some of these moves. Let's see here. Great show. Thank you, Bucs for Life. Absolutely appreciate you. giant goop balls. The salary cap is like points. Whose line is it anyway? Don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Sports Illustrated threw this out. We'll end off on this, a couple other points, and then we'll end off the show here nearly at 2 hours. Once again, appreciate you tuning in. Jamel Dean, according to Sports Illustrated, they threw this out there. Would you bring back Jamel Dean? A guy that's been wildly inconsistent. I was talking about this on Bucs Latest. Had his best year. According to Pro Football Focus, the third-ranked corner in the National Football League, 80.6 ranking, 3 interceptions, career high there, 9 deflected passes, only missed 3 games. The year before, missed 5 games. Are you willing to bring him back? Of course, it's going to cost you, and it may be $14 million and up. Now, remember, the Bucs restructured his deal before the season. What was the reason? Couldn't stay healthy. Didn't have enough interceptions. Didn't catch enough interceptions. So would they bring him back? Do Bucs fans, do you want him brought back? I say you're not going to, because the writing is already on the wall. First, you restructured his deal. Second, you re-signed Zion McCollum. Third, you drafted Benjamin Morrison in the second round. Fourth, you drafted Jacob Parrish in the third round. That's a lot of investment there to a corner. Why would you bring back, once again, an inconsistent corner who can't stay healthy? You're not sure if he's going to be able to finish and get interceptions in the first place. And what do we see with Ted McMillan in the first game versus Carolina? Once again, a receiver running past him. We've seen that through his career. And then on top of it, with what he did last year, you know that there's going to be bad teams out there that are going to be willing to overpay. So I don't see him coming back. What do you say, Bucs fans? Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Dave says, great show, Peter, as always. Go Bucs. Go Bucs. Absolutely.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
It's exciting.
Go Bucs.
We got the job, baby.
Oh, you did, Todd. You got the
Fire the cannon.
got the last one there.
How about them Bucks, baby?
And not all of them. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you. As always, King Cook says, Dean's got to go. Absolutely. Okay. Now, here's another story, and then we'll end it off on this. According to CBSSports.com, they say the Bucs could lose Cade Otton this offseason, and they throw out a guy by the name of David Njoku, who is 29 years old, tight end, a little bit older than Cade Otton, about 3 years, coming off a disappointing season, 33 catches, 293 yards, 4 touchdowns. Now, what I would equate to those numbers dropping is not having a consistent quarterback. You have a revolving door of quarterbacks there. Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, Joe Flacco. You look at the year before, in 24, 64 catches, 505, 5 touchdowns. In 2023, his best season, 81 catches, 882, 6 touchdowns. Now, there's been a rumor thrown out there that Cade Otton may sign with the Kansas City Chiefs, something along the lines of $7 to $8 million a year. Are you okay with letting Cade Otton go for a David Njoku? Now, this is where it gets interesting, Bucs fans. Pay attention. It's all about the connecting the dots season as he played with Mayfield from 18 to 21. In that time period, 116 catches and 11 touchdowns. So if you lose Otton, is Baker Mayfield going to Jason Light in the administration and saying, you know what, I'm going to vouch for this guy. This guy will improve the offense, not only blocking wise, but also catching the ball when I need him as that security blanket as a tight end. Now, to be fair to Otton, 59 catches, 572, 1 touchdown, which was the last game of the season versus the Carolina Panthers. And then the year before, also 59 catches, 4 touchdowns. I think his numbers definitely were affected by the fact of having all those offensive line injuries, having to keep the tight end in there to block so he didn't get that many opportunities. But we know that Otton can step up. My question is, Bucs fans, do you think Jason Light will give up on a former 4th-round pick out of Washington, 26 years old, who still has potential, for a guy like David Njoku? Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's see here. Dave says Dean isn't coming back. When the money wasn't there, he balled out. So what makes you think he gets the money again? He plays the same as the past season. Exactly. That's what I'm saying too.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, again, teams will be willing to overpay for that performance that he had, and they'll expect him to do that. And listen, the thing that goes for Dean here is he had a good year. He knows Todd Bowles' defense and has known that since 2019. But again, you look at what the Bucs invested in re-signing a Zion McCollum, investing in a Benjamin Morrison and a Jacob Parrish. I just don't see it happening. And I think Bucs fans feel the same way, that you should move on. And once again, I think their team will be out there that will be willing to overpay because first, they're bad. And second, they think that they're going to get the Jamel Dean from last year, which they may be a different situation or may not. So agree with you on that, Dave. Njoku is a physical beast who never puts it together. It's beyond the quarterback situation. He is a combine beast who doesn't show up on the field. Fair assessment. By Otten, says King Cook. Dave says Otten is a great clone. He's steady, and the Bucs need to bring him back if possible. Okay. Brian says, I take Njoku, but Pitts is younger and faster. He is younger and faster, but you got to remember he's also very inconsistent, and somebody out there may look at him and say, number one pick, going to overpay him. I know he's familiar with Zach Robinson's system, and that's where, again, connecting the dots. I don't know. He may price himself out. We'll see, Bucs fans. And once again, thanks a lot to all the guests, all the callers. Mr. L. Bushman of the Raise Rewind podcast. Go like and subscribe to that. We'll be back on Wednesday night. Remember, go like and subscribe to Bucs Latest on the Fan Arch Network. Let's see here. Pitts is the Timu Darren Waller. Thank you. Again, like and subscribe to Bucs Latest on the Fan Arch Network. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. YouTube Super Chats are open. Go friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. And do three things here as we wrap it up on a Monday night. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, especially you Go Bucs fans, it's your time. We'll see you next time on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. As we always end off on this show, you know it best, Bucs fans. Go Bucs.